This is an aftershave. It makes you smell good. Makes you feel good. And is best with a cup of coffee. Feeling good, feeling fresh. This video is all about how to reinvent yourself, right? Like I've just done. I've just reinvented myself with putting some aftershave on and having some coffee. I'm gonna have another sip. I've reinvented myself. I've given myself energy. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fresh for whatever I want to do in life, right? And look, I know lots of people, or maybe right now your life isn't going the way you want it. Right? Maybe you've had some bad news, or you've made some mistakes, you got fired from your job, your girlfriend's broken up with you, whatever it might be in your case. Okay? I'm telling you now, you can change. You can go from rock bottom all the way up. You can drag yourself back up. I've done it, countless of other people have done it as well. Okay? In this video, I'm going to go into depth as to how you can reinvent yourself. Right? How you can be this, for example, in my case, this traumatic kid who was skinny, lonely, depressed, didn't have any father figure, was broke as fuck, had no training, was just the loser, I'll be honest, couldn't do anything with girls, didn't have anything going for him in his life at all. To who I am now. Obviously, the coffee drinking, amazing smelling man today. So that being said, let's crack on to how to reinvent yourself. First thing I want to tell you is people think they know you, especially in your hometown, or especially in a place where you've grown up, or you're in your workplace, or if you've been somewhere for a long time. The people in your environment think they know you due to the actions you've taken, or the things you do on your day-to-day basis, or the things they've heard, the stories they've seen from you, from you or other people, okay? And have you ever actually tried to tell someone that you're going to change? Because I can tell you, this is exactly how it goes, right? Straight away, they're going to look at you and be like, yeah, sure, mate, you got this. Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah, in your dreams, there's no chance. You're not going to be able to do that, mate. You're not that kind of person. Right? And that is simply because people try and put you in a box because of their own insecurities, of people all of a sudden wanting to change, all of a sudden wanting to improve their life or change in whatever matter it might be. They are scared and insecure of the fact that you are actually going to do it. Okay? It's unfortunately also human nature. When someone says something and they cannot see it, because as humans we're all visual creatures. All humans are visual creatures. We need to see numbers, we need to see letters, we need to see actual physical things for it to fully set in and be like, okay, he's changed now, right? That's why when you're skinny in the gym, right, and you say to everyone, oh, I'm going to be this big jack guy, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be dialed in on my diet, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You tell that to everyone, right? They're just like, yeah, sure, whatever, in your dreams. But you tell the guy who has been gymming for how long? He's the biggest guy in the gym. The smallest guy going up to the biggest guy and being like, I'm going to do these goals. He's going to look at you and be like, yeah, go on, bro, you got this. Because he was that person. And the only reason you identify him with that is because you see it. You see the physical gains he's made. He's massive. He's the biggest guy in the gym. So of course you're going to think, okay, that is him. Right? But one time he was a small traumatized little kid, probably the exact same as you. Or a small guy, right? He didn't know what he was doing in the gym. He didn't know how to do reps. He didn't know what he was doing. For example, there's a fitness example. So, it's human nature to not have everyone else believe in you first. So what you got to do is put in the actions, put in the work, put in the results. And then you'll see things. You'll see people resonate and be like, yeah, come on, I always knew you could do that. I always knew. It's funny how that works, but it's so true. The reason why I'm saying this is because of your hometown. If you're trying to change in your hometown, right, it is going to be very, very difficult. The best thing you can do is not to tell everyone. It's to literally just, like I said, put the actions in every single day by day, night by night, hour by hour, whatever it might be, however long it might be, because it's going to take you a while. You will change and people will start to come around and then they'll start believing in you. This is why I think it's very, very important, if you do want to change your life, to actually move to a different country. right? A change of place and change of environment, a change of people allows you growth space to be able to say, I am this person, and people not look at you as if like you're crazy or you're just a weirdo, right? I've done this so many times, and to be honest, a lot of young men, a lot of people, especially in the UK, for example, they do this at university, right? They have their young group of friends when they're younger, and they're normally quite a good kid, or either it's the exact opposite, either they're really bad, and they become even worse at uni, right? And they go to university, they end up getting caught up in the drinking, they end up getting caught in the partying, the drugs, the alcohol, all of it, right? The bad friendship circles, and they become a worse person, they get distracted, they don't do their goals, they don't do their coursework, and they end up being a bit of a failure, to be honest, right? I didn't go to university. I did seafaring. So what does that mean? So I did loads of courses and tickets to get seafaring tickets, which allowed me to work on boats, specifically super yachts, right? And this Isle of Wight Ash was exactly that. I grew up in a very rough household. I grew up with a single mum. I lost my dad and my granddad when I was young. I had no father figure. We didn't have lots of money. It was hard going, just in day-to-day life, it was difficult. I was lonely, sad, depressed because I couldn't relate with anyone. No one could relate with my mindsets, my problems, and people used to think I was a weirdo, right? That version of Ash had the mindsets, had the goals, had the ambitions to be jacked, to make money, to become the next best version of himself, right? And once he got all of his qualifications, everything he needed, he fucked off. He went straight to Gran Canaria to do his dive master, and he loved it. He loved every single minute of it. Obviously, he was scared because it was his first time going away, and he didn't really know what to do with living, and that was all a big experience. But I developed this mindset and I started developing this person, right? And it slowly got better and better. From Gran Canaria to Mediterranean, as my first boat I ever worked on. From Mediterranean to Egypt, right? And in Egypt, my life skyrocketed. I got the success I wanted. I was good with girls. I was successful in some people's eyes, right? In materialistic eyes, if you looked at me from social media lens, if someone was recording me walking around, I was successful there. I had a really good life, I had a nice car, I had my own apartment, I didn't have to worry about day-to-day life, I had enough money to just tick over every single month. It was great, and I had a big sense of freedom and liberation when I was there, right? But what I'm trying to say is, every single place you move to, you get a new perspective. You get a new sense of freedom and liberation. You get a new zest, a new power, a new drive to smash everything and get after things, right? That's exactly how I feel when I go to a new place and travel. Now, what I've got to say is, be careful who you become, okay? If you are not careful who you choose to become, who you plan to become, who you will be in this new place or new area, it can make you worse. Similar to the university, similar to my situation in Egypt, right? In Egypt, I got very comfortable, and I ended up not being grateful for the things I had. I ended up treating people very badly, and I ended up being very selfish. That's what I learned. And now, obviously, I'm back in the UK. But this older version of me was very negative at the end of the day. It started off amazing and positive and big growth, and then bang, all came crumbling down. Right? You can reinvent yourself and actually become worse. Like, Mediterranean Ash was so much better than Egypt Ash. So what can you do to lower the chances and the potential that you'll become a worse person, right? This comes down to the planning, the core, right? What I want you to do to change your life right now is to plan out the person who you are, who you want to be. What is your dream life? What are your unbreakable values, right? What car do you drive? Is it a sports car? Is it a motorbike? Is it a quad bike? Is it a beach buggy? Like, really sit down and meditate with yourself with a journal, a pad of paper, and write this out. I remember when I did this, when I was going over to Egypt for the first time, I had 3 pages of literally written out of what my dream life will be, what I will do, when I will gym, when I will drink coffee, when I will do my aftershave in the morning, like, to the T, right? What does he get up to? Is he the man? And what does he do on a day-to-day basis? And then also think about, where would you want to go, right? What is your dream life? Where would you want to be? Is it in a hot country? Is it in a cold country? Is it where it's freedom and liberation, or is it a lot more work-oriented? Do you want to live in a city? Really choose this. And well, the places I would recommend personally are places like Thailand, Bali, and Egypt. One, because they're beautiful, they're hot, they resonate with me. But also because they are cheap, and they are the places like Thailand, Bali, and Egypt. They're all places where people are looking to grow, looking to change, looking to be entrepreneurs, looking to get in their health and fitness, have an amazing lifestyle. at a cheap price. So I personally recommend those places, but really sit down and think about this, right? Really plan and go deep into your mind, your soul, your body as to where you want to go and what your dream life actually looks like. So with that being said, I've given you the blueprints which I used and a little bit of insight into my life as to what I did to change and totally reinvent myself from a small skinny kid who was poor, had nothing going for him, bit of a loser, used to go out partying, used to love girls, all the way to where I am now, where I'm coaching people and I'm very, very much comfortable in my own skin. I love my life, I love where I live, I'm back in the UK, and yeah. Cheers for this video, I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.